Yeah, I noticed that you've been particularly active as a participant in what I would call the educated discussion and analysis of the situation in Europe. Can you maybe describe a little bit how that work is going within RUSI and with your other work?
Yeah, I mean, like many of you on here, I mean, a lot of it is trying to counter the misinformation, of which there is plenty. And therefore, I do think ex-military people or people who've got a high degree of knowledge, it's tempting to be quiet when you've retired and say nothing. But actually, I think there is a need for people like myself and others to speak up and try and put some truth behind what's going on. And I think when you've lived through, you know, I'm in my 60s now. When you've lived through the years of the Cold War, facing off against the Warsaw Pact, you know how this goes, and therefore I'm kind of used to the sort of face-off between those two sides. The current generations aren't used to that, and I think it's trying to get them to see how this conflict is, I'm calling it conflict for a good reason, is developing, and how therefore NATO now needs to think very differently than it has been able to for the last 15, 20 years, and almost reverse back to how we were thinking in the 80s, 90s. Now, things are very different now than then. I'm not suggesting we've completely gone back in time, but it is far more similar to that time than it is to the last 10, 20 years. So, yeah, I put my voice out there like a few others, like many of you on here as well, because I think it's important that people understand the facts and listen to an honest appraisal of what's going on and not some distorted version, shall we say.